claws.
Now, how does it swim?
It can't. It only moves in straight lines, and you're moving up and down when you're in the water.
Oh, no.
But yeah, it specifically says it's essentially thwarted by moving out of the way.
You just had to move fast.
Yeah. Or just slightly to the right when you see it starting to charge at you. Repeatedly.
It cannot correct.
No, it can't.
This life is difficult for this monster.
Literally and exactly.
Oh, there's so many opportunities to say that.
Let's see, are there any other versions of it? Nope, it's just rewriting the same text after that. So yeah, Lanoon, a nice design. I like how it looks. It is a fast badger Pokemon, but only if it's going in a straight line. Zigzagoon I find super adorable.
I think its problem makes it a bit cuter.
Yeah, I think the problem makes it hilariously cute. And then you have Wurmple. Wurmple's an interesting one. He can be red or purple. He is cute. I like it. His name is Kemuso in Japanese.
He'll eat you.
He has the biggest butt face of all of the butt faces.
That's pretty impressive.
But that said, he has a weird quirk. He can become either Silcoon or Cascoon by complete random chance. You don't know which one you're going to get. Silcoon will eventually become Beautifly, which is a pretty neat Pokemon. I like it. It's
Cascoon
pretty.
Will become Dustox and you lost.
Yeah, and then there's Cascoon, who looks identical to Silcoon.
Almost.
Except for the shinies are different.
In some art, they look really spiky, but really that's just like strands of webbing.
Yeah. And then there's Dustox, who I still like the look of, but apparently is not as good. But yeah, I like Dustox. It's neat. It has a nice name.
Beautifly is carnivorous.
Yes, Beautifly is carnivorous. It's a carnivorous butterfly.
Surprising.
Oh yeah, if you want, you should read Ariados Dex entries. And then there's Lotad. Lotad is a weird thing with a lily pad on its head.
He's a Kappa, maybe?
Maybe.
It spins string not only from its rear, but also from its mouth. It's hard to tell which end is which. Is it? A single strand of a special string is endlessly spun out of its rear. The string leads back to its nest. Rather than making a nest in one specific spot, it wanders in search of food after darkness falls. Ariados' feet are tipped with tiny hooked claws that enable it to scuttle on ceilings and vertical walls. The Pokemon constricts the foe with thin and strong silk webbing. A single strand of a special... Oh wait, that's just recycled. It attaches silk whose prey and sets it free. Later, it tracks the silk to the prey and its friends. I don't know. Sun and Moon.
Yeah.
There are some areas where people use the string or Ariados spins for their own weaving. The resulting cloth is popular for its strength. It spins thread from both its rear and mouth. It then wraps its prey up in thread and sips their body fluids at its leisure. Every night, it wanders in search of prey, whose movements it restrains by spewing threads before it bites into them with its fangs. It spews thread from its mouth to catch its prey. When night falls, it leaves its web to go hunt aggressively. And that's it.
Yeah, the one about sucking the body fluids at its leisure, it will slowly...
I was going to say, Beautifly does that.
Yeah. But I was just saying that's what it made me think of.
It can produce spider webs from both its mouth and spinneret. It is difficult to even differentiate the head from its back, where the spinneret is located, except for the obvious difference in size and the fact that one has eyes! You guys are idiots!
I like that you're that outraged by that concept.
Don't get my head and rear end mixed up.
Oh, is that what it says in the...
Darn, my HP's gone down half already. It's bad. I'm out of silk and poison, too. Yes, that's my level. I can feel the power coursing through me. Ariados is quick and nimble on its feet. It spits silk to interfere with capture. It spins webs around itself while moving about. It shoots stingers that make Pokemon tired.
Yes, it does. It's a weird way of wording it, though. But yeah, so this is Lotad.
Increases damage when you make a match of 5.
Good. Okay, so yeah, this is Lotad.
In an emerald, he just vibrates.
I guess I'm gonna throw something at you if you keep it up. Okay, so this is Lotad. Lotad becomes like dark red when it's shiny with the weird thing on its head. It's a weird combination. And then it becomes Lombre here. Lombre is known for being like weirdly like pessimistic in the game, if I remember correctly.
Well, look at him!
He's weird looking. He's definitely a Kappa.
He cheers up.
And then he becomes the Kool-Aid Man.
Yes. He goes, oh yeah, and then he barges in through the wall and does a little dance.
Yeah, he specifically and directly becomes the Kool-Aid Man.
Does
And his name in Japanese is Run Papa. His name is Capalores in German. He is such a happy man, though. He's so happy.
You could fight him to music.
Yep. And then you have C-Dot. C-Dot is everywhere forever.
No.
And then C-Dot becomes...
He's basically just a version parallel of Lotad.
And then there's Nuzleaf. No, I mean like in Go. He's friggin' everywhere. Lotad's hard to find, but Nuzleaf...
You're going to tell people where... You're going to figure out where we are if you keep talking about Pokemon Go.
In the United States? That's the whole United States.
They're going to find you!
That's fine.
Okay.
Nuzleaf here. Konohana. He is the first of the dark grass of this set. The first form is not dark, only the second and third form. He uses naughty combat. And then Shiftry here.
A weird Tengu with a crotch chin. I hate it.
He's a Tengu?
I think it's based off of it, given the fans and the...
Oh, and his name is Dirtang?
And the fact that he has that one-pronged Geta sandal going on. Those are both iconic of Tengu.
Well, also his name is Dirtang.
Yeah.
Which is probably Tengu, and then they just got rid of the U. And then we have Talo. Talo's all over the place here, too.
He has such a wide mouth!
He does. He has a very, very wide mouth. And he's green when he's shiny. And then he becomes
a favorite of mine.
Swellow, who is always flying.
And is very smug. And I have mine use Guts and Facade. Again, I set it on fire with the Flame Orb. Guts increases his attack when he has a burn and negates the attack decrease. Facade does double damage if you have a status effect and it's normal type, so it gets stabbed. So it's... I basically set my bird on fire and throw it at people. It's very effective.
Pet keeping with Shin.
You set my bird on fire and throw it at people.
Yes. But yeah, he's a swell guy, as his name would imply, being Swellow. Osubame.
Oh, Scrappy. That is an ability. I forgot that exists. That's the ability you were thinking about.
Ha.
It lets you ignore ghost type immunity.
Yeah. Is there an inverse one that allows ghost type to hit normal type?
I don't think so. But that's not as often a problem, I don't think.
Nope. He is never not flying, and he never flaps.
I hate because he always does just open air soaring animation as soon as
even when he's not moving, which doesn't
because
make any
they
sense.
because they had to introduce sky battles in 6th gen, which were a completely pointless feature. It was basically a regular battle, but you could only use certain Pokemon that could soar, and
it's really annoying.
That's really all it did.
Does Levitate count or only flying types?
It isn't a matter of type or ability, just certain Pokemon could. Such Pokemon would always typically be either flying or have Levitate.
And then you have Wingull.
It's any Pokemon that would look correct, just up in the sky.
Yeah, and then you have Wingull, which also can do that. Are there any flying Pokemon you can teach Dig?
Yeah. Gligar, probably.
So can you use Dig while you're in the sky?
I don't know if you can use Gligar in the sky battle. You can't use just every...
That's what I mean. Was there any that would fit for that?
I know certain moves are disabled in the sky battle.
So in other words, it's really just unfun Pokemon.
And everything in a sky battle is immune to ground anyhow.
Yeah, but I just thought it would be funny to see.
To dig in the sky?
Yeah.
You can microwave a flea.
But yeah, there's Wingull. Wingull also is permanent flap, but without flapping much. And
it's fine because I don't like him.
He has bright green when he flap, and he is shiny. And then he becomes a pelican with windows for eyes.
The most disgusting pelican.
Why?
Look at him!
He's fine.
He's a flying mouth!
Yeah, that's what a pelican is.
Well, I don't like it!
Shin hates pelicans.
A little bit.
2018. And then Ralts. Ralts is a pretty swell guy. It's like an emo kid with, like, reptile...
But I don't really
thingies.
know what he is.
He's pretty swell. I like him. He's cute. There are some really cute Pokemon cards with Ralts on it. And then there's Kirlia, who I pronounced incorrectly for a very long time.
I never really pronounced it for a long time.
Kirlia is a ballet dancer. And Kirlia is an emotion Pokemon.
And it evolves into the waifu.
Yep, and then Kirlia evolves into most people's waifu for some reason.
I want to like Gardevoir, but I feel its design is kind of...
I think Gardevoir is decently elegant, but
Yeah,
I
but
don't see the waifu-ness of it.
I really don't see what Gardevoir is even... I don't know what I'm looking at is the problem.
It's a lady, but it can be male.
I mean, I can make out it has like a gown. That's all I can make out of its design.
Yep.
Which
It's
is
just
what
a
makes it
humanoid
waifu.
design. And
It's
then
a
there's,
lady. It's sexy because it has a gown.
And then here's Surskit.
And a neck.
Surskit's a Nidoman.
Uh,
Surskit is a water strider. And he is cute. And then he becomes Masquerain, who I love the design of. Masquerain is a pretty boy.
I find it very unforgettable. Very forgettable, actually.
And then the first form of one of Shin's favorites, although he doesn't care much for this form, it is Shroomish.
I think he's funny. He's
Shroomish-
funny.
Yeah, Shroomish is funny and always a grump.
Also, turn
Shroomish-
him upside down and he also looks funny.
Yeah, Shroomish also might be a
Yeah, he has
Goomba.
a what?
XP, might be a Goomba XP.
Yeah, it's just he looks so funny when his face is upside down.
He looks funny in general.
Yeah.
And then he becomes Breloom, which is one of Shin's all-time
I
favorites.
don't know why, but it is.
It's pretty neat.
He has stretchy. He can
His
stretch
shiny's
his arms.
really nice. I like that
He
shiny.
stretches his arms out to punch you with his coconut gun.
Coconut gun. D. Donkey.
We should be cheerleaders.
No.
I'm glad I said that.
But yeah, his name is Kinogasa. Or Chapinon in French. He is a swell guy. I like him. I would definitely invite him to the party, and I've said a lot of Pokemon are swell guys so far.
He might punch you though, but you'll forgive him, right?
Here's Slackoth. Slackoth is adorable in a doofy way, and he is the same color as Slowpoke when
He
shiny.
also, I think he has a butt.
He has the same color as Slowpoke when shiny. He is okay. Not really my favorite line. There's Vigoroth, who kind of looks like the Bumble from Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer.
Oh, the Yeti?
Yeah. He's not that great of a design. And then Slaking, who I really don't care for.
Vigoroth is probably the strongest of the lot.
Yeah, because of Slaking's really, really terrible ability.
I mean, his stats are great.
Yeah, but his ability is just so bad. And literally the only difference in his shiny is the color of his fur,
Stupid
nipples, and his nose.
If you punch it, they look the same.
I mean, I guess that's true.
He's pretty heavy.
And then there's Nincada,
It's an interesting line.
which, yes, has an interesting concept for it, and I like the way that they executed it, but one of the Pokemon is so annoying! Nincada, though, is pretty neat. And then becomes Ninjask, who is a pretty swell fighter, if I remember correctly, like combat-wise. And then there is Shedinja, who is the bane of everybody who plays, because if you're not weak against an attack with it, it doesn't take damage. However, in serious play, that doesn't matter because Stealth Rock is a thing. If it doesn't do super effective, it does 0 damage.
Basically, if you hit it, you either don't or it's dead. If you have any weather going on, it's dead. He's a very strange Pokemon.
Yeah.
His other, again, the Ninjask is pretty cool.
Yeah, and Bug Ghost with that execution is an interesting concept. I like it.
It has enough weaknesses to make Wonder Guard fair.
Yeah. Is it the only thing that knows Wonder Guard?
Yes.
Because anything else, it would just be ridiculous.
Yeah, I mean, Wonder Guard.
His big drawback with that is he has 1 for hit points.
He only if you hit him, he dies. That's all there is to it. You either all attacks against him are all or nothing.
Yep. Yeah, he never can get more than 1 hit point. And then there's Pumbloom.
I like.
Pumbloom has a funny mouth. It's always like a bone shape. He's cute. He has a funny cry, like the call sound.
I just made that up.
Okay, so yeah. He has a funny cry, and then he has the hidden ability of Rattled. His speed is increased by 1 stage if he is hit by a bug type, ghost type, or dark type move.
That's pretty lame. I've never heard of that ability. Not once.
And then he can become Exploud, who is the shoutiest Pokemon. Or yeah, Loudred.
He's a pain to voice.
Who is a very shouty Pokemon.
I do not like voicing him.
He's fun, though.
Yeah, he's so loud, though.
I mean, you're naturally loud. He
What?
becomes pink when he...
I mean,
also the animation, his ears like move like speakers. And then there's Exploud, who is a really cool design, and I don't like that he's not really that great. Because...
Let's see. His abilities are... What? I guess he's not very fast, but...
Yeah, look at those stats. He's not very good.
He's mediocre, I guess.
He's not very good. But he has a really cool design, and he's like one of the very few actually like sound-themed Pokemon, which I think is pretty awesome.
Yeah, I like sound-themed attacks.
Yeah.
So if you want sound-themed attacks, you're gonna, I guess, have to go with Noivern.
Which Noivern's okay.
Yeah.
I just really like the design of Exploud.
I think Noivern's ears get in the way of his... Yeah, they don't look aerodynamic. That bothers me on a bat.
And then here's the Sumo Pokemon line. Here's...
Oh, they're okay.
The Guts Pokemon that can not necessarily have Guts as his ability. Sometimes he can, but not always.
But he can't use Guts Facade as well, because it's not Stab.
Yeah. And
Thick, Fat, and Sheer Force are also really dang good.
Yeah, Makuhita's not a wimpy Pokemon. It's pretty good.
He's mostly a man, but the problem is he's slow.
Yeah, it's
like a lot of people.
A sumo wrestler would be implied to be.
In Japan, he's Makuhita with a longer name.
Yeah, Makunoshida. And then there is his evolved form, Hariyama, who is 60% hands and like 30% kneecaps.
Unfortunately.
He's very big man, but that said, he's pretty cool. Definitely a competent fighter. This line is definitely worth having if you're trying to take out gyms in Pokemon Go. If you can't get a decent Machamp, he's really good for Steel type, Rock type, Ice type, Normal type. Pretty much anything that... I mean, anytime you're going to need a fighter Pokemon, if you don't have a good Machamp, this is typically the second best recommendation. Breloom is pretty decent too.
And he's stylish.
I like Breloom. But yeah.
Style is important.
Shiny Hariyama's pretty neat. I like it. He's purple and red.
Oh, I like regular Hariyama too.
And then Azurill, he's so cute. I like Azurill. I like happy Azurill.
And he's always
for some
sad.
reason he's always
His
sad.
official art is sad, and I think that's hilarious.
Although that said, in Pokemon Go, he's always smiling. But yeah, he's so sweet, and I like him. And he's adorable. And his name in Japanese is Ruriri.
That's cute, I think. He's mostly female?
Then it's she's mostly female.
I didn't
wouldn't
know
it?
that.
But yeah, they're
I'm
swell.
talking about the one that's not, though.
They're swell. I like them. They're cute.
And
He is a polka dot Pokemon.
Which is... I guess it's referring to his size?
Despite being a water fairy line, he is a normal fairy Pokemon.
Because he can't swim. He can only float.
What? Is that what it says?
Probably. I mean, he has his flotation device is as big as he is.
Azrael spins his tail as if it were a lasso. It then hurls it far. The momentum it throws sends its body flying too.
Is that physics? Not really.
I mean, kind of. Using this unique action, one of these Pokemon managed to hurl itself a record 33 feet.
Azurill
10
self-throwing contest.
Its tail is large and bouncy. It's packed full of nutrients
Oh.
this Pokemon needs to grow.
Oh, it's not a flotation.
Azrael can be seen bouncing and playing on its big rubbery tail. Its tail packed with nutrition. Its tail is bigger than its body. It is a flotation device in water.
Okay. So I could be wrong. Maybe.
But look, see, he's happy here.
Yeah, but his art isn't.
Yeah, his drawing art isn't.
Which is
Here he's happy. He's a swell guy. As I keep saying, I guess that's my go-to
Does he
phrase
have
of the
drinks?
now. No, that's later.
Oh man, I need drinks.
He's not old enough to have drinks.
Ah, that's true.
And then there's Nose Pass. If this were a standalone Pokemon, which it originally was, it's pretty decent. I like it.
But it's also
It's
Lickitung.
fun, and I like its concept.
I liked him.
The evolution is just so absurd that I feel like it hurts its first form a little bit.
I like him more than I did before his evolution existed,
Yeah.
which is really weird.
And then Skitty, super cute little kitty cat, goes meow 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 when it kicks
And
its feet
it has
forward.
it has a fascinator for a tail.
It's pretty neat. It's adorable. Its tail looks like a pincushion.
Oh yes, there was needles in its butt because it didn't have a
It's
tail.
not yeah, it's not nice.
Yeah, but now it has a tail.
But is it really worth it, man?
Yes, maybe.
And then there's Delcatty, who could have totally been an Eevee evolution in a different universe. Delcatty is pretty neat. It's a sweet kitty. Again, not really much of a fighter, more of a you have it if you like cute Pokemon
It
like
has
me.
the ability Wonder Skin. I've never
Makes
heard of that.
non-damaging moves that are targeted at this Pokemon have an accuracy of 50%.
So basically, it's a lesser version of Magic Guard, which is a lesser version of Magic Bounce. Sableye,
Sableye, I do like.
I like his
It's
face.
it's a little gremlin-y looking in the design.
I think it should be a rock type instead of. It should be some kind of rock type.
Yeah, I feel like Ghost Rock would make sense.
Because we don't have a ghost rock, and we have two rock ghosts. We have two ghosts with a rock theme. He used to have no weaknesses, so
What's
if
the
you
other
could,
one?
what?
What's the other one?
Spiritomb
Oh,
is a ghost sealed in a rock.
kind of. I mean, it depends on how. Did they say specifically that it's a stone tomb and not a wooden tomb?
It's like 108 evil spirits sealed in a rock.
Oh.
So it should be Ghost Rock.
So here you have. He's a pretty neat guy. He definitely is probably one of my favorite, like, outright vicious looking Pokemon. But he's also like really tiny for being a vicious
Yeah,
Pokemon.
he's like part rock. You can see, and he eats rocks.
He does eat rocks. He is 1 foot 8 inches, so he's not even 2 feet tall.
Little man.
But
So yeah, he's a gremlin.
he will mess you up, man. Like
What's his attack?
in like not literally, but in like they play him as vicious in like the
Oh my god, I love.
Oh yeah, it has
I
Mega
I
Evolution.
love. This is one of the sillier Mega.
Yeah,
Evolutions.
it's like
he
I'm a
doesn't
kitchen.
even change. He just gets a big lens to hide behind.
Yeah, and he.
Oh, I
Looks,
think he gets Magic Bounce.
yeah, and he looks like a Protoss character in this.
They'll never see me through this transparent lens.
But yeah, so yeah, he's not particularly great. He has much better defense than offense. Oh wait, no. 75, 75, 65, 65,
Yeah.
50.
Oh, he's actually pretty weak.
Yeah,
When he
he's
Mega
not-
evolves, he becomes very defensive.
Yeah, he but yeah, he
Carries a
is
wide lens.
he is a common villain during one of the Mystery Dungeon games.
Yeah, well, or other he's a
And-
mook.
They look threatening. They look decently.
Until you
threatening.
realize, well, no, your main characters are also pretty small
Yeah.
because they're not evolved.
And then Shin loves this Pokemon a lot,
I do, Buttery Mama.
and it mega evolves, and then it just
I
basically
mean,
gets.
for a long time, it's just been pathetically weak. When it Mega evolves, it gets the best ability in the game, probably.
Why do you call it Buttery Mama?
Because in Gaia Online, there are these items that are basically
Oh yeah, that's right.
seem very copyright unfriendly. All they change is the name a little bit, but for some reason, Mawile is called Buttery Mama.
That's
But
right.
yeah, Mega Mawile's ability, huge power. All it does is doubles your attack. That's all it does, but that is ridiculous.
as long as you're physical based.
Yeah, and everything that has is... Oh, Azuriel can also get it for some reason.
Aaron is
I like that
awesome.
line.
It's shiny is great.
Its eyes are so bizarrely blue, but this line just keeps getting
It's like a
better.
glass orb inside of a thing. Like, it's basically a robot.
Maybe
It eats metal.
It does. Just look at that progression. It's great.
Yeah, it's a really good progression. It's cool. Goes from this to looking like this. This is a pretty swell form. I like it. This is a really nice final form. It's probably one of my favorite badass Pokemon.
And his Mega Evolution, like, turns into, like, a land-bound battleship, kind of. You get, like, a warship vibe from that?
I get, like, a tanky vibe.
Yeah.
From it.
I like it. He
Yeah.
loses the rock type, which is an
Yeah.
improvement.
Yeah, because that really makes him a lot more weak
And he's
to a lot of
and
things.
his ability, what's his ability? Oh, yeah, that's not a bad ability. He takes less damage from super effective moves.
Rock Steel is a really, really bad combination because it makes fighting just obliterate you.
Fighting and ground. That being said, check Hagron's defense.
That doesn't matter though if they're super weak to things. That doubles the amount of damage.
Right, and then he loses his rock typing.
Yeah, well, Mega Aggron though. I'm not talking about.
Right,
I'm talking about regular
I'm saying,
Aggron.
though, I'd say adding steel to just about any type is an improvement.
Yeah, but
Steel-
adding rock is not.
Steel, water, and electric are probably some of the best types to be.
Yeah, but adding rock to something is
Rock
bad.
Rock is like
Rock is
second
only good at
worst.
resisting fighting and
No, it's
or
only good at resisting
resisting normal rather.
and I guess it can resist fire.
Yeah, steel
And flying.
resists normal as well.
Steel resists most things.
Steel is basically Skronk Rock minus all the disadvantages Rock has.
Steel is if rock was good.
Yes.
And water and electric are just regular.
His name is Bossa Godora.
Whatever that means.
Oh, Boss Godora. Boss Godora.
Hey, that sounds like a kaiju.
It does.
How tall is he? He's 7 foot pretty much.
Yeah.
Anyways, 7. Oh, he can have the heavy metal ability, which makes him doubles his weight.
It's not a very good ability unless you're using, what is it, Heavy Slam?
And guess who can learn heavy slam?
Well, yeah.
And guess what type heavy slam is?
Steel type.
Right, so
So
It's-
making him weigh 1,500 pounds,
it actually can be a good idea. But
as long as you have Heavy Slam.
yeah, but the thing is, when you mega evolve him,
Yeah.
he
His
loses heavy metal.
Oh.
He becomes lighter even as he becomes heavier. But I think that Aggron's other abilities are also definitely worth considering. Yeah,
Sturdy, won't be knocked out in one hit.
which isn't that important because he's a tank, but Rockhead,
Doesn't receive recoil damage.
I think he can learn a whole bunch of recoil dealing attacks. So yeah, none of Aggron's abilities are bad.
None
to
of
have.
them mega.
And like, unless you choose heavy metal and then get it by low kick for quad damage,
Yeah, that could be
weight
bad.
based quad damage.
Especially because low kick, quad damage, and it's a fighting type. And you
Yes, that's
double
why it
weak
does quad damage.
Yeah, but I just mean also.
Right, it'll do
yeah.
quad damage and it'll do as much damage as low kick can do, because you're probably way heavier than whatever.
Oh, is there a cap on it?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that. Are there Agrons in it? Nope, there are not, so you don't have an Ultra Sun, Ultra Moon flavor text. And then there's Metatite.
He meditates. at you.
It's okay. It's fighting Psychic, which isn't the most common mix.
It's increasingly common afterwards.
I don't really like its design
Me
much.
neither.
It's a little monkey-ish.
I don't like his face
Medicham is tall boy with parachute pants on.
and his stupid face.
And it's
It's a
definitely
stupid
not
face.
one of my favorite fighting types.
Or
It
psychic
has
types.
a mega though, where it gets like 2 scarves around its body that are its arms. Oh no, it just has scarves around its body.
Definitely not my favorite fighting psychic for that matter.
Yeah, it's not really.
Actually, I don't even like fighting psychic types. Go away.
It's not great. Electrike is a weird one. It likes to stampede. I know that's a thing. it has a big head, and then when it evolves, it gets a weird pointy head.
It's his hat.
It's still a doggo though, so I still like it inherently. And then its mega is crazy.
It turns into a lightning bolt. And it gets intimidated because lightning is scary. And he becomes pretty fast.
Yeah, I mean, it's